All right, happy Black Friday, everybody. Sorry for the delay, having major issues with Google Plus today. And so, from a couple of different places, my tech person in Florida, nobody can get on right now. So, I hope you guys have gotten on effectively here. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Thanks for your patience. Appreciate you for hanging in there with us. So, we're going to talk today about the noisy marketplace. Okay, we're going to talk about the noisy marketplace. It's too noisy. I can't hear you. How to stand out in a crowded marketplace. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. The problem, I always say, the opportunity is always right there in the problem. Okay, so the problem is also the opportunity in this case. The issue is everybody online is talking at the same time, right? Everybody's talking at the same time, and it's difficult to hear messages. Now, there are two questions that I'm going to talk about in today's Hangout, and one is, so who do you listen to? And the other is, and how can you be heard above the chatter? There are so many gurus and so little time, right? 3 reasons to pay attention to anybody. So this is the first major topic we're going to talk about. So many gurus, so little time. 3 reasons to pay attention to somebody. Number 1, resonance. For some reason, what they have to say speaks to you. It serves you or it ignites you. And this also includes folks who get under your skin. Sometimes people will only want to listen to the folks who are saying what they want to hear. Right? Not a whole lot of growth in hearing just what you want to hear. So resonance can be a couple of things. Resonance can be, hey, I really appreciate what this person is sharing. We share the same mindset, and therefore I'm getting some growth and development because we can continue this journey together. The other thing is you've got folks who say things that you don't want to hear. The thing I always say to myself, when people trigger me, when I see things and I think, oh, that's just awful, that's just terrible, that's just whatever, the first thing I think of is, okay, what about this do I need to look at it? What is it in this person and what this person is saying that has resonance, but not in the way that I'm accustomed to really embracing? What is it that they're saying that gets under my skin, and why is it getting under my skin? So I'm going to challenge you today not just to listen to the people who you agree with, not just to listen to the people who are like you. We tend to like listening to the people who are just like us, or very close to us, very similar to us, saying the same kinds of things that we're saying, right? People always say my brother from another mother, you know, those kinds of things, because we like the social verification, the social validation that we get from listening to people who resonate with us from a positive standpoint. But I want to challenge you today to also pay attention to the people who get under your skin and ask yourself, why do these people get under my skin? Because it's not about them. That's the first thing. It's not about them. If somebody's getting under your skin, the place to look is right in the mirror. The place not to look is at that person. Listen to what they're saying, watch what they're doing, and ask yourself, why does this person get under my skin? The answer is not because of something that they're doing. There's something in you that needs to be reviewed. There's something in you that needs a microscope on it. So figure out what that is, and then you can use the same thing that annoys you to elevate you. Okay, you can use the same thing that annoys you to ignite you to a different level of service. All right? All right, relevance. You're paying attention to people because they're trendsetters, they're innovators, they're mavericks, they're influencers. Great reason to listen to folks. Okay? They're setting trends. They're doing things that perhaps you're not doing yet. They're doing things that's making the world take notice of them. They're innovating, right? They're mavericks. They're doing things that most people wouldn't do. They're influencing you, and sometimes you don't even know it, right? People always say that imitation is the greatest form of flattery, and to some degree it is. You'll see people do things online. You think, hey, that's a really cool idea. And next thing you know, you're implementing that into your marketing. You're implementing that into your message or your delivery. So relevance is a great reason to follow people. They are relevant, and therefore what they do becomes more relevant in the marketplace. And in many cases, if you start to do what they do, you become more relevant in the marketplace. All right, radiance. They shine a light on what you need to be doing better, more of, or differently. Radiance. They shine a light on what you need to be doing better, more, or differently. Okay? So what is it that you need to be doing better in, whether it's personal development, professional development, or business development? What do you need to be doing better? What do you need to be doing more of? Do you need to be doing more of video marketing? Do you need to figure out what Google Hangouts are all about? Do you need to write a book? What do you need to do? You need to do to be more radiant. Okay, so these people that you're looking at online, they're shining a light on what it is that you need to do to be better, to be doing more of, or to be doing differently. All right. Then the second question is, how can you be heard above the chatter? How can you be heard above the chatter? If it's a noisy marketplace out there, what can you do to be heard above all that noise? The first thing you can do is to have some distinction. Now, true distinction is like true love, I like to say. You know it when you see it, but you can't always describe it, right? And make no mistake about it, when you encounter somebody online, you can feel it. You can feel their level of distinction. So your challenge is to become more authentic, more genuine, more you, so that there's more distinction in the marketplace around your brand. Okay, so distinction is a great way to really break through the noise. The next one is defiance. Not being afraid to say the things that nobody's saying in ways that nobody's saying them. I always tell people that, there are a lot of people out there doing what we do, what I do, whatever, but the people who are not afraid to do things differently, to go out there and just try different things, to say or do things in ways that few people or at least nobody's saying, those people basically have distinction in the marketplace. Those people can be heard above all the chatter out there in the marketplace. So defiance is a great way to break through the noise. Delivery. Getting your message into the nooks and crannies of the internet is actually much easier and cheaper than you think. And it's certainly much easier and cheaper than it used to be even 10 years ago. So whether you're talking about syndicating your videos, or you're talking about writing articles, or doing Google Hangouts, or doing your live events, whatever it is, the way you deliver your message in the marketplace has a lot to do with whether you're going to be heard. And some people just live on Facebook. That's their platform, right? That's their pulpit. But in order to truly be heard above the noise, as more gurus and experts and folks, coaches, authors, speakers get online, in order to be heard above that noise, your message has to be in little known places. It can't just be on Facebook or Twitter. It needs to be on Squidoo. It needs to be on Tumblr. It needs to be in a lot of different places. And the way you can get that out there, of course, is just to hire a quick virtual assistant to basically syndicate your content so that it's everywhere, so that you're now becoming kind of omnipotent. You're out there in so many places that even people who, of course, have never heard of you are bumping into you in places that you weren't a year ago. Your message may have been on Twitter and Facebook and maybe LinkedIn, but now you're in some of those lesser known places, but your impact is growing. Okay? So the thing is, no noise is bigger than a message that needs to be heard. No amount of noise is bigger than a message that needs to be heard. So if you really feel like your message has to get out there, your message has to be heard, then here is your opportunity to really rise above the noise. There's just going to be, it's going to be more folks online. It's going to be more people vying for attention. There's going to be more people vying for publicity, whatever it is. But no noise is bigger than any message that needs to be heard, that has to be heard. So I hope you've enjoyed today's hangout. I'm Fran Harris, and I will see you next Friday for the next Black Friday hangout. Have a good weekend.